Mike Daddy here. Thank you for checking out the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share the video. Also, remember to use code Mike Daddy in the item shop. And thank you for your support. Okay, guys, so Fortnite has put out a little bit of a preview for version 8.2, which will be coming out pretty soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of this stuff. I think you're going to be surprised at some of the changes in here. One in particular, which we will get to in just a moment. But first, let's read the little post here that came from Mr. Popo TFS, one of the employees over at Epic Games. Hey, folks, thanks so much for these reports. We've sent off any new issues brought to our attention over to your QA team for investigation. In the meantime, we thought it'd be nice to let you know some of the fixes we hope to get into the version 8.2 update. Keep in mind, while we're confident in the majority of these fixes, there's always the potential for a fix to not work as expected or make it into the patch. Once the 8.2 release, you'll be able to check out the patch notes to confirm what made it into the release. Please continue to let us know if you experience an issue. Thanks. Also, they're aware investigating the issue with shotguns not firing in some scenarios. Follow the status on that issue here, and then they have the link for the Trello board. Okay, guys, let's look at some of the potential changes in Battle Royale. We're not going to go through the whole thing. We're kind of going to stop when we get to a big one here, but let's go through some of these. So, potential version 8.20 Battle Royale bug fixes. And I gotta stress, these are potential. They have not said this is exactly going to happen yet, but this is what they are looking at doing. So for weapons and items, they want to fix an issue where clingers damage players through walls when stuck to another player. This is a glitch where you stick somebody with the clinger, you run behind a wall, the clinger blows up, and for some reason, not only does it damage the player you stuck, but it does damage to you, even though you're on another side of a wall. They want to fix an issue that's preventing glider item pickups from displaying the stat count. They want to smooth out the motion of grenade projectile trajectories, which are lagging behind by a tick. They want to entering a vehicle no longer plays the release sound of balloons if you have balloons. They say the balloon rope will no longer remain on your back when you run out of balloons. They want to fix an issue where players flying out of a pirate cannon in a different direction than expected, which would be a good one. They want to fix an issue preventing the ability to enter a pirate cannon when close to other geometry, which would be nice. They want to fix the ability for players to finely tune pirate cannons' ability to aim side to side. Again, I mentioned this over on the Daily Fortnite podcast, but yeah, people are having a hard time getting that weekly challenge done where you need to do 100 damage to players with the pirate cannon, and it is hard to aim. So hopefully they're going to get fine-tune that a little bit more, making it easier to aim, and hopefully people will land some more shots with that pirate cannon so they can finally get that challenge done. Team Rumble is a great place to bring those. If they want to fix an issue causing the buried treasure to spawn loot on the starting island, yeah, that's not a good place for the buried treasure to end up, because you're not going to be able to get there during a game. So there's a big one coming up. I'm actually going to skip over one, and then we're going to come back to it because it's that big of a deal. So we're fixing an issue with the icy feet effect remaining on indefinitely while emoting. They want to fix issue causing some traps to be inside thicker structures, making them hard to see. They want to fix a rare occurrence of a player being invulnerable while down but not out, and they want to fix a camera sometimes traveling too far when cycling to another player. Here's the big gameplay one, and for you people who are actually reading along, you're going to know which one I skipped, and if you read it yourself, you're already thinking, wait, what? So here it is. They are thinking about putting this in the next patch. Traps now do damage to the baller vehicle first, before damaging the driver. So think about that, guys. If somebody is in a baller that has 300 health, they end up in a box with a player who puts on a trap. If that player only has a single trap, it will no longer, but in its current state, the trap does damage to the ball. It breaks the ball and damages the player. effectively, it could potentially eliminate that player depending on how much health and shield they have. If this were to happen, you are just going to do damage to the baller and not the player at all. So if a player drops in a box that has a trap in it and the spikes go off and that ball has full health again, you're just taking damage. You're just taking health away from the ball and not actually damaging the player. So that player is going to survive that and not take any damage at all. And they're going to be able to bounce away and grapple away. So this would be a huge change in my eyes. Already, people, especially pros, are complaining that the baller is too OP for the game. This is only going to make it more OP. So I'm very curious to see what happens with this and how players are going to react to this. If players are even paying attention to that, this is something that might happen. But yeah, it's going to be a big change. What if this actually happens? If players aren't noticing it now, they will notice it when it actually gets in the game. All right, guys, that's what I wanted to cover. Again, these are potential changes. None of this is happening 100% for sure yet. We'll keep an eye on it. Make sure you subscribe to the the daily Fortnite podcast, wherever you find podcasts, because I will actually read the patch notes for you when they come out. That way, you'll know what actually happened and what actually of these they decided to do and how much of it actually got fixed that they wanted to fix. But yeah, I just really wanted to make a big note of that one for the baller. Only, getting a big buff there and taking damage from traps and not the player. Okay, guys, that's it for now. We'll be back later. Until next time, have fun, be safe, and don't get lost in the storm.